Hello everyone. Hopefully you can all see and hear me. I'll just do a test as I always do, guys. So testing the mic. Again, this might sound a little echoey because we're in my dining room. So hopefully you can all hear me. So sounds fine. Scott McFarlane says sounds fine, mate. So I'm hoping we're good to go then, guys. Am I right? Darren's in the house. He will be moderating for me, guys. So you best be on your best behaviour. I'll give the chat time to load up as well, guys. So a few rules quickly before we get into this. As always, guys, I know you think I'm probably a hypocrite here when I talk about spoilers, but if anyone tries to spoil the movie out with what we've already seen officially online, so from Universal with their teaser trailers, the final trailer, obviously, which we're going to talk about today, any marketing material by Universal is not considered a spoiler. So if we're talking about that stuff, it's absolutely fine. If anyone wants to come into the chat and talk about rumors that they've heard on Reddit, for example, or they've read the script, then unfortunately, whether we're friends or not, I'm going to have to ban you from the channel. I've already banned lots of people from the channel. I've even banned people that I've spoken to for years on the channel because I can't treat anyone else differently. So if you want to spoil it, it's up to you, but I'm going to have to ban you from the channel. And when I say ban you, I'm not actually banning you. You can still watch my stuff. I'm just hiding you from the channel. So it means if you try to comment, nobody will see your comment. So it's as if no one is going to reply to you and everyone would be ignoring you. That's what it would look like. So that's the ground rules there, guys. So I will be talking about kind of spoilers today, only from what we saw on the official trailer. That's it. So it's all going to be opinion based, and that's it. I've got a bunch of screenshots that I'm hopefully going to be able to show you as well that we can get into, and then hopefully we can discuss it from what we can see there. Now, as part of my chat, you've got to be a subscriber to be able to comment anyway, and you have to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes. So if there's any, say, trolls in the group chat, they're going to have to wait a good 5 minutes before they can leave a comment, a troll comment, and then I'll ban them. And then they're going to have to create a brand new account, wait for another 5 minutes, and then comment again. So it's a lot of work if you're a troll, but by all means, you can do that. Anyway, on to the good stuff, guys. That's just the ground rules. No spoilers, otherwise we have to ban you. I've got Darren in the chat here from the Slot of Land Movie Podcast. He will be helping me catch out any of the pesky spoilers that we may have in the chat. So before we begin, guys, I'm just saying hello to all you. Who have we got in the chat? We've got Yorkshire Horror, McAvoy Productions. Who else have we got? Again, not everyone's commenting yet. I've got Kevin, Darren, my chunky Geordie, Tima Luton, Darth Deej, Mark Bennett, Caster Can, Ryan, Sebastian, Ding Doctor, Ding Doctor Surf Shop. That's a hard name to say. Jamie, Speedy, Carl, Pittsburgh, Nelly, David, and more people will join. So that's just a few of the people that I've read out there, first of all. And we'll just click on a random comment before we begin. We've got Travis Loderbaugh. Barry, what's up, boss? I wish I was the boss, but I'm good. All good to get going on this final trailer. I thought it was best to talk about the final trailer like this, because there's things that I'll maybe bounce off of you guys with and maybe ask opinions for. Like I'll look at a screenshot and say, what do you think of this? Then you can tell me what you think as well. I'll obviously give you my opinion first and see where we go with that. So, without further ado, let's get into some of the screenshots. Now these are just random screenshots. There are some there are some parts of the trailer that I'm not going to discuss because there's no point. Those things that we've already spoken about from the teaser trailer and some of the TV spots. So there's no point in going over old ground. There might be something that I will do because I just want to talk about it. But other than that, we'll try and talk about most things new if we can. If anyone leaves any super chats or any comments or anything, I'll leave them to not near the end, but to after each and every screenshot that we discuss so that we can all get involved in it. And that's what this is about, getting involved. So these might not all be in order. For some reason, when I upload them onto this, they're not going in order. So I'll try my best to try and put them in order of when they appear in the trailer. If they don't, my apologies. So, first one. I'm running out of breath already. So, there we go. First shot is the pumpkin. And the only thing I can really talk about the pumpkin, that it does appear twice in the trailer when Laurie goes to light it up, but it is obviously a nod to the original pumpkin from Halloween 1. So it's a nice looking pumpkin. Nice little nod as well, anything away, to be honest. So I just wanted to show that one. So let's go into the comments and see what you think of that. Just joking, guys. I was just a warm up screenshot. But we do have David Irwin that says, "Trauma dies tonight." I mean, that's 2 for 1 then. If trauma dies tonight, then it means there's no more trauma. Carl Roberts said, "Been following the channel for a while and first time catching you live. Always enjoy your content." Well, thanks very much, Carl. And it's nice that you're getting a chance to watch me live. To be honest, I don't do a lot of live videos. I've never really got the time to do the live chats, but I'm trying to do as much as I can now, try and get all the live chats in there. But anyway, right, back to the screenshots. So the next one is this one. Initially, I thought the entrance to the, well, we'll discuss this as well, but I thought the entrance to the tunnels where that we see that person running in with the torch, the flashlight goes into the tunnel. But clearly they don't. It looks like this might be either the entrance or the exit for Michael. It could be Corey Cunningham's entrance into the tunnels, or it could be Michael Myers's exit out from the tunnels. Now, we'll discuss the look of this in a few screenshots away when we see Corey and Michael up close, up face to face. But that's, you can see a kind of straw look of what looks to be the tunnel there that's leading us in and out. Now, there is, like I said, there is going to be other screenshots that would make you think otherwise, but we'll get into that in a few seconds. But I don't know if any of you guys noticed that. If you noticed the kind of the tunnel look, looks like a secret passage to or from this part where Michael might live. Buff Snake says, "I believe it's Michael's exit. The way it's shot feels foreboding." It does. It almost feels like, I don't know if it's in reverse or anything, but it could be like zooming out or zooming in, showing you just kind of nothing happening. Maybe you won't even see Michael get in it. Maybe you won't see Michael coming out of it. Maybe you just look at that and think that looks like it's maybe the exit for Michael Myers, because he's obviously not going to walk out. Well, he might do, but he shouldn't really walk out the main doors. He's always going to have to get in and out nice and quietly. So let's get into the other one. The next one. That's the tunnels again. I don't know if that's looking into the tunnels or looking out the way. It's quite hard to see it without lighting it up. I think it's, imagine we're the cameraman, we're looking in the way to the tunnels. That might be where Michael Myers is living. I don't know what that is. In the distance there, guys, I don't know if any of you guys have watched it on your 4K TVs. I've only watched the trailer on a laptop so far. So I don't know what that is. So if you know what it is, let me know in the comments section what you think it is you can see in the distance. I know it's not this, but it looks like a mattress, but it's not a mattress. It just looks like that. What do you guys think? Again, it's hard to see what that is. If I go quiet as well, guys, I'm just reading the chat just to see if anyone's got any opinions on some of the screenshots as well. But anyway, we'll move on to the next screenshot. And the next one is Corey Cunningham. Now, this is obviously the other side of that. You can see this is daytime, so it's obviously set at a different period of the trailer. But when we looked at the trailer of the darkness with all the straw around the entrance, this is obviously Corey at that same entrance looking in the way to us. He's already got a scar on his face, or a cut on the right hand side of his face. So I don't know how he got that. Is that, to me, there is a TV spot that we saw of Corey getting out of the tunnel where he's standing right now, and he looks like he's escaped Michael Myers. And it looks like he's maybe went back the next day to see if Michael Myers is still there. He's obviously got the cut on his face, so he survived his attack, or he survived the attack of Michael Myers there. That's what it looks like to me at that part. I don't know what you guys think. Yeah, McAvoy Production said Corey looks like he was in a fight. Wonder why he's looking for Michael. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe he didn't even know Michael was there, and he got a surprise when Michael saw him, which again we'll discuss. And he's went back the next day to maybe see if Michael's still there, or is he going to start visiting Michael and giving him food? Hopefully not, but you never know. Okay. So if we move on to the next one. Yeah, so this is a series of screenshots that I've got here. These ones where, see, you can see stairs behind Corey here. Now, that's what I'm saying, that it could be a multiple exits or multiple entrances here. It looks like he's came through that tunnel that we've looked at a couple of times, but you can also see the stairs leading up the way to somewhere else. So could this be the first time he's came down the stairs, the first night he got attacked by Michael, and then the second time he's came through the way he escaped the night before through the tube tunnel? That's what it could be. That's what I think it might be. But that's just the lead up to the attack, the very first attack, I believe, where at first I thought maybe this is where Corey died and this is where his story ended, whether he was a copycat or not. But this looks like he's going to have more than one altercation with Michael Myers. So that's quite interesting to see that. Again, it doesn't really give much away because it's not telling you much, because it is cutting the trailers back and forth, so you don't know when certain things take place. Here's one from Kale Schroff. Maybe Corey is trying to clear his name of the kid murder by finding Michael and proving he's alive by killing people dressed as him. I mean, it could be the other way around. That's one of the reasons that I think he might be doing it. But another thing is maybe he has killed someone and he wants to blame someone, and then he sees Michael Myers and thinks, I can blame Michael Myers for this because he's still alive. So maybe he's out looking for evidence that Michael Myers is still there, or want to prove to people that Michael is still there so that he can clear his name even if he isn't innocent. So yeah, it's a good point. Maybe he is looking for Michael just to see if he can maybe get away with certain things. He might do. So that's that one finished. If we move on to the next one. This one here is a really interesting one because Corey's got that look in his eye as if, I'm surprised that you're here, Michael, but I'm also not surprised because I was looking for you. I mean, he's got that fear in his eyes as if I'm going to die here unless I do something or say something to Michael Myers. And he's managed to get himself out of a pickle. This is just when he's getting choked here. And this is where Michael's got him up close. Now, this is where all the questions start coming in. Why does Michael not kill him? Why does Michael give him time to explain himself or time to get away? Does Michael let him away by accident? Does Michael recognize him? Does he know who he is? I just don't know how Michael can let him get away from this unless he says to Michael before Michael kills him or tries to kill him, I know Laurie Strode, I know where she is. And maybe Michael's like, oh, Laurie Strode, I know the name. She sounds familiar. So yeah, it is a hard one to determine what's happening in this scene, because knowing Michael, he should just be killing this boy, but he's not. Why? I don't know, but that scene is fantastic though. Just the look in his eye, the fear in that boy's eyes, knowing that I'm going to die here if I don't do or say something right. So very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Jamie Wilshaw says, not many people survive an audience with Michael, and that's absolutely right, Jamie. So that's why I'm wondering, what has he got over Michael Myers? Is he saying, if you kill me, I'm going to tell on you, even though he'd be dead? So yeah, it's Pittsburgh Nelly says death grip. Well, not according to the trailer, because he got away. Pepsi Max Cherry. Now, guys, I don't want you to leave the chat, but has anybody seen Ryan Reynolds' announcement video? I won't say anything if you haven't seen it, but Ryan Reynolds has uploaded an announcement video on Twitter about an hour ago. I think you're going to want to see it after this. Right after this. Right. So, let's get back to the screenshots. So let's get rid of the one with the choke, because we know he's getting choked. And this is the other side of that, where Michael is choking him. Michael's face is pretty scary here. And this scene, the sound is amazing. The score that they use for this specific scene as well, obviously won't be in the movie, but for the trailer, that's frightening and amazing. I'm glad they chose the music and the sound for that specific scene, because it was so good. This scene here reminds me of Halloween 5, the revenge of Michael Myers, and for obvious reasons, because of the situation that they're in. Michael is underground, just like he was in Halloween 5 with the whole Dr. Death malarkey. I know that they're trying to pay tribute to other Halloween movies, but if there's any Halloween movies you don't really want to pay tribute to, is the bad ones like Halloween 5 and Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. I mean, you could add on a thorn symbol onto his wrist, and you've got literally the beginning of the curse all over again. So, it's dodgy ground when you're trying to tribute movies that aren't very good, movies that maybe you don't want to remember. Some people like Halloween 5, but this just the lighting in this scene and just the mood of the scene, and obviously the situation that they're in, just oozes Halloween 5 at this point. It's the only reason I've picked this one up. I don't know whose knife that is. Is it Michael's that he's left there? Is that his little dressing table for when people come down into the sewers? Who knows? But I thought I'd include that anyway. I'm going to go back to the chat just for a few minutes as well, guys, because there seems to be a few comments building up. I don't want to leave anything unturned. But let me know what you think of that one, though. And does it look like Halloween 5 to you guys? I know that we are going to get. Oh, here we go. I'm glad someone said this. DJ Mad Vibes 1 says Michael Myers. Basically, what DJ is saying is he thinks I'm saying Michael Myers when I'm actually saying Michael Myers. I do get that quite a lot. I think some Americans can't differentiate accents, so they try and listen to me, for example, a Scottish person. They try and listen to people's videos in their accent, and it doesn't work, obviously, because not everyone has the same accent. But if you don't understand other accents and you only hear accents from your own place, then yes, you will try and listen to people's accents in your own accent. So instead of hearing what I'm saying, Michael Myers, he's hearing Michael Myers because he's trying to hear my voice and his accent. I just thought I'd say that because that's literally, I get that every day. Michael Myers. I'm saying Michael Myers, not Michael Myers. Anyway, I just went off on a tangent there, guys. I do love replying to those kind of comments, though. At least you're not spoiling the movie, DJ. We're talking about Michael Myers. Yeah, Darth Deej. Just as well I've got the same accent as you, Barry. Absolutely, Darth. Otherwise, you'd be thinking I'm saying Michael Myers. My Chunky Geordie says, I'm from the northeast England and people don't understand me either, Barry. Yeah, I mean, I understand Geordie's fine because they're closest to Scotland. But yeah, I think if you know that there's more than one accent out there, it's pretty easy to differentiate accents, to be honest. Anyway, again, we went off on a tangent there. But thanks for your comment. Here we go. Back to the screenshots. So yeah, Halloween 5 vibes for me. So let's go on to the next one. This shot, Michael looked quite chunky there. I know he's been living far away for 4 years, but surely he's not eating much. But yeah, I think the way he stands up in this scene is pretty good because he obviously gets dinner as he stands up. He's just leaning down, but it's quite dark, so there's not much you can see there. And it's definitely Michael Myers because he's obviously about to kill or wanting to kill Corey Cunningham, but he doesn't. So before we go into the next one, that's basically the one kind of scene there put together. You've got Corey Cunningham. This is for the first part of the trailer. So this is why we're trying to break it down. First part of the trailer shows Corey Cunningham making his way into the sewers, into the tunnels, and coming across Michael Myers. And from what we imagine, Corey Cunningham escapes and gets out. I don't know if Corey Cunningham was a bad boy at that point or if he's killed anyone at that point, but his encounter with Michael has obviously started something there. So, yeah. Kim D says, "People can be so rude, Barry. I love your videos." Thanks very much, Kim. I don't take offense to anyone who makes fun of my accent. You know, it's not really making fun of my accent; it's making fun of themselves because they don't know accents, which is weird. Like, how can you make fun of someone's accent? Everyone's got a different accent. No one's got the correct accent. So, yeah, I mean, I think they're trying to be rude, but it doesn't bother me because we've all got different accents. Michael Myers. Let's see if there's any other. Tom, a bad boy. Laughed my ass off, Barry. It's funny as hell. Yeah, a bad boy. I don't know why I'm saying bad boy, but it seems like a bad boy. Oh, good point, Carl. 130 in the chat. Hit the like button. Yep. Hit the like button if you can, guys. It would be much appreciated. And share the video if you can as well. Tell your friends to join and listen to Barry talking about Michael Myers. Yeah, we're all talking about accents right now, guys. Apologies. I'm getting back into accents. Anyway, so next up in the trailer breakdown, we've got Laurie Strode in the bar having a little drink because you know she likes to have a drink. Like myself, sorry. She's talking to Lindsay in this scene as well. Lindsay's behind the bar. There was a TV spot with Lindsay behind the bar, and I imagined and I assumed that she worked there. I don't know if she always worked there. It didn't look like she was supposed to work there, unless I got that wrong in Halloween Kills. Maybe she just had a day off that day because it was Halloween. but she's not got a day off this day on this Halloween. But it looks like she works in the bar. Don't know if it's the same bar from the last time. It looks kind of different from the looks of behind Laurie there, but I don't know. But it looks like that's where they meet up to discuss Michael Myers. It's clear to see in this trailer, and again, we'll discuss this, that Laurie seems to be losing her marbles. She thinks she sees Michael when she doesn't, when in actual fact, she is actually seeing Michael, but she thinks she's not seeing him when she does see him. But more on that next. So let's get rid of these ones because these ones don't matter now. I love this shot. This is so simple, but one of the best shots in the trailer. Now, I'm obviously wrong here, and it's not a guess. I'm just telling you, at the left-hand side of this image, outside the window, it looks like Laurie's old house. It's not. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't think it is. But right across that road looks like her old house where she used to live in 1978. Could it be? Possibly. I don't know, but it's not really prominent, or it doesn't really matter, to be honest. But it looks like her house. There is a TV spot where you see Alison get into a house with a piano, and it looks like she's walking around as if she's reminiscing things. So it could be Laurie's childhood home that she's made her way into. And if it is, there it is in that shot. If it's not, then it doesn't matter. I'm just saying it looks like it. But yeah, the reason this shot's so good is because she's looking out the window and seeing this, apparently. Is she seeing Michael behind the bush? Is she not? It's obviously a tribute to 1978, one of the most iconic scenes in the whole entire movie. This scene here is obviously not going to be as iconic because it's already been done before and you can't redo the magic that we got, but you can at least give it a good tribute in a good way. And I'm hoping that that's what they do here. Now, in the original one, when Laurie is looking out the window and she doesn't move her eyes away from Michael and he just disappears, some people think that's magic, but it's not. It's just bad directing by John Carpenter at that point, just bad editing, bad cutting, and that's it. But over 40 odd years, people have come to love it and just create a story around that specific scene. So they're paying tribute to that where she's not looking away and he's possibly there and he's disappeared. This could be a completely different scene taking place at a completely different time throughout the movie. But the way they've cut it in the trailer makes it look as if it's the same scene. She's looking out the window. He's maybe there at one point, but when she looks out again, he's not there. He's vanished. So it's a really nice scene. One of the best scenes in the whole entire trailer. Nothing happens in it, but it's just a scene that I think is fantastic. Because this is a really good scene, guys, what do you think? What's your thoughts on this scene? Are you glad they've got things like this in here? Or do you think it's maybe too much nostalgia, too much nods to the original movie or original movies, because there's obviously more. But let me know your thoughts on that before we move on to the next screenshot. I keep coughing, guys. I always do this. Don't know if it's a nervous tick or just bad habits or whatever, but that's why I hardly do live streams. Because all of those coughing that I do gets taken out. Greg Romero says, I wonder if it is actually the Myers house. The guys both died that owned the house and kills. It was definitely, unless they've repainted it, but I don't think that's the Myers house. Unless you bought a house across the road from it. Who knows? Buff Snake says, these screenshots look awesome, but I am scared because the marketing is not good. I mean, the marketing is not great. I think if we didn't get the 20 TV spots, then the marketing would be genius because we've got a teaser trailer in July, and this is the final trailer just over 2 weeks until the movie comes out. If this is all we got, then the marketing would be spot on. It's just those TV spots that leaked out that it's maybe got people questioning how the marketing's going. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from because I also think the marketing is terrible because of all those screenshots, because of all those TV spots. N says it's just letting us see what she sees. Yeah, and that's exactly what happens in the original movie with the bush, with the back garden with the sheets. So it's just letting us see what she sees. Scott McFarlane says, "Love little subtle tributes like that. Not everyone will see it. Yeah, not everyone will see the subtle tributes that you get here and there within the movies. The general audience won't get them, but Halloween fans will. And I think even people who are not massive fans of Halloween should get that one because it is a nod to the original movie when she's looking out the window. Michael's there and then he's not there. I think most people would get that, but you never know." Aidan O'Reilly says, builds up the tension and suspense. It certainly does because, again, you're seeing nothing, but it's suspenseful and it's really tense because you're putting yourself in Laurie's shoes. You're imagining what she's looking at, and what she's looking at is probably not nice. Brock Lesnar says too much nostalgia, not enough creativity, and I do agree to that from at an extent. You can get creativity with a bit of nostalgia in there, but you can also get too much nostalgia with very little creativity, almost like you're using the nostalgia as a blanket, as a cover for your lack of creativity. So yeah, if you put too much of that in there, then it's going to be obvious. So I'm hoping that if they do give us some nostalgia, then great. But if they give us a lot, they need to then give us a lot of story and reasons for doing what they're doing. Otherwise, it's just for nostalgic purposes and nothing more. John T says, loving the callbacks, they're not too much. And again, there's some people who just love the callbacks to previous movies, and I do enjoy them for the most part, but too much might be too much at some point. Have I caught up a little bit here? Is it Michelle? Michelle David? I wonder if Lindsay will be in the film much. I read she's. Whoa, let's hide that. Sorry, guy. Can't be reading those comments out. Apologies, guys, if any of you read that. Okay. Anyway, back to the screenshots. This one kind of annoyed me because of the attitude of Alison. You know, I actually prefer Alison over Laurie in this trilogy because she's more realistic. But this scene made me feel sorry for Laurie, and it made me angry with Alison because Alison's basically pushing her out of the way, saying, "I'll make my own mistakes and I'll do what I want. Who cares if my mum and dad died? I don't believe in the boogeyman." And you're like, well, you never found his body, so you should be scared. He might be around the corner. I know it's been 4 years, but he waited 40 years to come back again, even though he was stuck in a penitentiary, a sanitarium. But he's out there somewhere. You don't know where he is. Whereas for 40 years, you knew where he was, and Laurie was still scared. Now she doesn't know where he is, and she's even more scared. So you need to back off a little bit. Give her a break. Her daughter's dead. Her son-in-law is dead. Her friends have died. Lots of people have died around her. So give the woman a break. And you should know this, Alison, because your parents both died in the same night by the same man who's missing. So yeah, I don't really understand that scene. I know she's trying to be a rebel, but she's 21 years old now. She doesn't have to be a rebel. She needs to grow up. So yeah, I didn't really like that scene. I don't know what this is. Laurie's heard something in the house and she's standing up slowly, wondering what the noise is. But what's that she's picking up? Is that a glass of wine on the ground? Or has somebody left something on the doorstep for her? and she's about to pick it up until she hears a noise. I don't quite know what that is. It can't be a wine, surely, unless she was lying down drinking. It's a strange one, guys. Again, I've not watched these. I've not watched the trailer or looked at the images on full 4K. I've only been looking at them on the laptop, and I've not even edited any of them. So there is some scenes that maybe I should have looked at before clicking on them, but it needs a must. This one is a lot more clearer than the last 85 TV spots. I thought that was a person's hand that had blood on it at the right-hand side, with Michael picking up the mask. Now, I still think that's Michael picking up the mask. Some people think the hand is too feminine, but it's quite clearly Michael Myers. But the right-hand side, it's not a bloody hand, it's a knife, a bloody knife with a body lying next to it anyway. So he's killed someone, most likely an imposter, a copycat, and he's thought, kill you, and I'm just taking my mask back, unless that bloody knife and the body there is a victim of Laurie Strode's. Laurie thinks it's Michael, pulls off his mask to reveal someone who's not Michael. She's walked away crying, oh my God, I've killed such and such. And Michael's come in through the back door and thought, I'll take that mask off of you, Mr. Corey, or Mr. whoever it is, Topanga. And he's put the mask on and he's came behind Laurie and he's going to fight Laurie. So she has to do it all over again and fight Michael Myers this time. I'll maybe wait a few minutes to show you the next one, guys, because that's quite a lot of information there. Not sure if you agree with me there with any of that, or you think I'm talking rubbish. Who knows? Pittsburgh Nelly says Saucer. I don't know if you're talking to somebody else there, sorry. Blah, blah, blah. Darren says, I feel that's Laurie's hand. I mean, over the last 4 years, you never know what she's done. Maybe she's worked out over 4 years and got a really strong hand and grew hair on it. I don't know. But I think that I'm 99% sure that's Michael Myers picking up the mask. I don't think that's Laurie at all. I don't think it's a female's hand anyway. It's too dark and hairy to be a female. But you never know. It could be her. She might be Teen Wolf. John T says, yes, I thought this too. She's killed someone else, and this is him taking the mask back. I mean, that's the only explanation, I think. I don't know what other situation that scene could be in other than that. But again, it's just our speculation. It could be completely wrong. We could all be wrong. Hi, Dylan. Hey, everybody. Just got into the live stream. Welcome, Dylan. You're not missed too much, to be honest. You can start whenever you want. And this, I'm just breaking it down. We're about a third way through so far. It does pick up later on in the trailer, guys, because there's a lot of quick screenshots that we get to as well. So we'll go through as much as we can. Again, whatever I missed out in this trailer and whatever we don't discuss, I'll probably do another video eventually, doing things that we missed, things that you missed as well, if you don't discuss it in this chat. So this is Corey. You can't see it here because it's a still image, but he's got a cut on the right-hand side of his face again. So this is obviously after his altercation with Michael Myers, or with someone, maybe not even Michael Myers. But he's came back. He's all smirk. Maybe he's thinking, Michael's not going to come for me. Michael's not going to kill me. I've already escaped Michael Myers and he'll let me go. So I'm safe. I can do what I want. And I think he's went back to Allison and or Laurie to boast, to say, Michael's still out there, guys. You better watch out. And maybe they don't believe Corey. And Corey wants them to believe, but Michael doesn't want to come back. So Corey's maybe thought, right, okay, I know that Michael's alive. And it's annoying me that nobody believes me. So I'm going to put on the mask, whether it's Michael's mask or someone else's mask. I'm going to put on a mask and pretend to be Michael Myers so that people still believe that Michael's there. People will believe me that Michael's still out there, even though it's not Michael doing the stalking to start with, and it's just Corey. But that's what I think anyway. Again, I could be completely wrong, but you never know. This little dude's starting to get dodgy, as they say in Scotland. The reason being is because we see him. I'm not going to show the screenshot here, but you see him in one of the TV spots, one of the first TV spots of banging on a window to someone saying help. He's asking for help. The person that he's asking for help looks like a bigger Louis Guzman from the new Addams Family movie and all the Adam Sandler films. It looks like he's asking him for help. And at first I thought he's maybe really scared and Michael Myers is after him. Maybe it's not Michael, maybe it's a copycat. But is he trying to lure that guy out for some reason? Because here he's got a gun. I don't know if this is before or after we first see him in the first trailer. But there's something about this boy that I'm thinking, is he a copycat? Is he another copycat? Or is he the copycat killer or the copycat? Maybe it's him. Now, there are other scenes with him in it, with Michael and or the copycat next to him. So that's what makes me think he's not the only copycat, if this boy is indeed a copycat killer. But I don't know, there's just something about him that just screams red flag. I just don't think there's enough to know about him. But yeah, I think he's a little bit suspect. Yeah. What do you think, guys? Did you see him in any of the trailers? Did you notice him? And do you think he's just an innocent bystander that's just going to get killed? Do you think he's just another number on Michael's list or someone else? Susanna Meir says, I think that's one of the bullies. Is there bullies in this film? I'd imagine there would be, because obviously there's teenagers and young adults in it, so there may be a bit of bullying going on. But I was led to believe that we're not going to get a lot of school. In fact, I don't think we're going to get any school scenes in this film because no one's at school anymore. Maybe they're at college. I don't know. Maybe there's bullies in college. But if he's a bully, then maybe he needs to grow out of that. Pittsburgh Benelli says, I think he's a victim. Well, yeah, I think he's a victim regardless. I think he's going to be Michael's victim or another copycat's victim. I don't think he's the main bad guy. But yeah, he's still a bit suspect. Mark Bennett says, cocking a shotgun. Yep, he was. He was cocking the gun. I don't know why I added this one in, because nothing really happens. You just see Alison going up the stairs. The way she's walking up the stairs makes me think she's going up to see if there was something there. Maybe she heard a noise or knows that there's somebody up there. That's the only reason I added it in, guys. So it's not that important, to be honest. It's just a new scene. This one is, again, it's someone I don't 100% know who it is. At first, I thought it was Hawkins. And I think most of us thought it was Hawkins, but I don't believe it to be Hawkins anymore. I will show you another screenshot later on in this video as to why I don't think it's Hawkins. But that's all I'll say there. So let's just get on to the next one. Here we go. This is the radio DJ at the bottom of the radio tower, as if it is even a tower. The reason I added this one is it just reminds me of LL Cool J and Chris Duran's Michael Myers in Halloween H2O when he's on the phone to his missus and talking about round melon breasts, and he hears a noise at the window and he turns around and Michael's gone and only we can see Michael. That just reminds me of that scene. Other than that, it's just one of the victims that are going to get killed. It looks like he's reading a Hustler as well, a Hustler magazine. If you can see that just below his hand. Did anyone else get that H2O vibe that I seen at all with the whole round melon breasts? That's probably Corey, Suzanne said. If you're talking about the person at the window, yes, I think that also might be Corey because there is a scene, again, I've not added it here. There is a scene where Corey and Alison are cuddling each other outside the tower, outside the radio station, where Michael Myers is walking past. And I think maybe he's trying to scare the person at the radio station at first, unless it is Michael. And he bumps into Alison after he takes the mask off, after he kills someone there, possibly. And he's saying, "Oh, fancy meeting you here." But I think Laurie Strode has been watching him. It looks like Laurie, I don't know if she's looking out for him or looking at him and thinking, "Are you up to something, Corey?" Hamza Butt says, you think Corey might be related to Michael Myers? You never know. Yeah, well, yeah, you never know until we see the film. But the chances of being related to Michael are very slim. Michael only had a big sister, and she was only 16, and she never had any kids. Unless it's a distant relative, then nah, I don't think he's related to Corey at all, to be honest. But you never know. Well, Bennett, you get me going, then you gotta go. I always thought that the voice, I know it's not, I always thought the voice of LL Cool J's characters, Ronnie's missus, I thought it was the voice of Jada Pinkett. I don't know why. I thought I read that somewhere that it was Jada Pinkett. Obviously, it's not. Extron Gaming says, I'm so confused with that one scene where Michael is on the street holding his mask. That doesn't even look like him. He has all his fingers and his clothes look so big and baggy. We'll get to that one, Extron. I do have that one ready to talk about. Hold your horses. Here's one that I get all the time. Low Volt Dude says James Jude Courtney is 6'3". Rohan is 5'9". Big difference between real Michael and the imposter. Now that's where you're confusing yourself because you're talking about actors and you're talking about characters in a film. Now James Jude Courtney is 6'3". Rohan is 5'9", but Michael Myers is not 6'3". Michael Myers is 5'10". That's what height Michael Myers is. James Jude Courtney is just playing maskless Michael. It doesn't matter what height James Jude Courtney is. What matters is what height Michael Myers is. And in this timeline, Michael is 5'10". So if Rohan is 5'9", he can be established as a character around 5'9", 5'10". Whereas James Jude Courtney, although he's 6'3", he is Michael Myers. So he's 5'10" in this film, and that's it. Look at the film, look at the Netflix series Dahmer, starring Evan Peters. Jeffrey Dahmer was 6'1", but Evan Peters is only 5'9". That doesn't mean Jeffrey Dahmer's 5'9". That just means Evan Peters is 5'9". Jeffrey Dahmer was over 6 foot, so they had to make Evan Peters look tall or taller than he actually is in real life in the series of Dahmer. So it's the same with this. Michael Myers is not 6'3". Michael Myers is 5'10". So if you've got Rohan playing Corey Cunningham and he's round about that height, then he could be a believable Michael Myers. Yes, Michael Myers does look tall in some scenes, but he's up against small people. He's up against teenagers a lot of the time. So he is supposed to be a bigger, menacing looking guy. But he's only 5'10". That's it. This is supposed to be a sequel to the original Halloween. So officially, Michael Myers is only 5'10". But you're right, James Jude Courtney is a lot bigger than Rohan, but that's just the actors, not the characters. What do you think of that, guys? Do you think Michael Myers is bigger than 5'10"? And if you do, let me know why. Hey, Mikey, he likes it. Mikey likes it. Um, Corey would have to be a grandson since Michael Myers is 65 at this time. Well, not necessarily. You could still be like maybe Michael's parents when he went into the sanitarium. Maybe they had another child um, when Michael was in his adulthood. You never know because we don't know when Michael's parents died. Maybe Michael's parents had a kid at 50 years old. So Michael would be an adult at that point. So you never know. But it's quite a stretch for him to be related to him, to be honest. David Owen says, I'm getting the fog vibes from that still with the DJ as well. Yeah, obviously you've got DJ and the fog, but it's certainly not Adrian Barbeau. Tommy Quinn says, Barry, do you think James Wan should direct a Halloween movie in future? Probably not, to be honest. James Wan's style doesn't really fit with the Halloween movies. The next director I'd love to see make a Halloween movie is David Robert Mitchell. He would be the perfect fit for a Halloween film, hopefully a Halloween trilogy. Anyone who doesn't know who David Robert Mitchell is, he's the director of It Follows. Need I say more? JT says, what? Mike is 5'10" and you have a 6'3" guy playing him? Yeah, I mean, that's the magic of cinema. You've got Elijah Wood, who's what? 5'8" or something, and he plays a hobbit, and hobbits aren't 5'8", so that's the magic of cinema. Yeah, Travis says, always considered Michael as a character to be 6 foot. Yes, I know Nick is 5'10", and you could be right. Maybe Nick Castle, although Nick Castle was 5'10", Michael's character was supposed to be taller. You never know. But from the Wikipedia pages and from other, when you compare the heights of Michael Myers in different timelines, they always put Michael Myers as being 5'10" in the original movie. And I don't know if that is because of Nick Castle's height and that's it. I don't know. But when Nick Castle and the character of Michael Myers is up against Laurie, the original Bob, etc., he only looks like an average height person, and that's what makes him scary because he's an average man. And if an average man is about 5'9", 5'10", and Nick Castle was the perfect height to play the perfect normal height person. So I think Michael Myers is supposed to be 5'10". There's nowhere else that says he is any other height other than 5'10". So I'm going with that just now. GMD Nelson says Michael Myers is definitely bigger than 5'10". Well, if you can prove that, GMD, then please let us know. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the screenshots, guys. So yeah, that was the DJ. I thought I put another image of that up. I've probably got it somewhere else. Okay, so we see this woman in the trailer quite a lot, to be honest. I don't know if she's important. Obviously, we know she dies. She's obviously a throwaway character because she dies, and we know she dies in the trailer. But there's something about the person that lives with her that's quite interesting, and I'll get to that in a little second. The house that she lives in is clearly a rich person's house. Look at the handles on that shower. It's like a fire hydrant in the UK. Really nice looking. It's a lovely house. She's obviously rich. She must have a rich husband. She sees somebody dead in the pool, which looks to be her husband. Now, is that Dr. Mathis? I did say in a video last week that Dr. Mathis might not even be in the movie. And if he is in the movie, he will play a bit part. He won't be important. I've got a funny feeling that's Dr. Mathis right there. And we probably won't even see him. You might not even see his face in the film. I might just see him face down. Maybe the woman talks about him, saying, "Oh, my husband's a successful doctor. He's a plastic surgeon," and then he's dead in the pool, and that's literally it. So that could be Dr. Mathis in the movie, and if it is, say hello and say goodbye to Dr. Mathis. But yeah, she's obviously screaming there. She doesn't know who's done it or how it's happened. And then it cuts to her phoning maybe an ambulance or the police. But Michael comes out of her wardrobe. I thought it was a door to begin with, but it's a wardrobe door. It's a sliding door that slides across. And he comes and kills her. And he does it brutally because look at that. I'm not saying it's really nice because it's obviously horrible for that to happen to anyone, but it's nicely shot because Michael's just standing there looking at her. And yes, it is another nod to the original movie with Bob in the kitchen, but nonetheless, that's what Michael does. That's the way they've built him up as a character, and they've continued that on throughout the film series. So really nicely shot, and I'm glad that something like that is going to be in the movie. That's the kind of nods that I like to see, to be honest. This one, this looks like the older lady that dies at the hands of what could be the imposter, aka the copycat killer. That's the lady that we see in promotional shots from Universal, that gets killed, unfortunately for her. Oh yeah, I forgot to show that. That was just the woman. The only reason I was showing this one is because she's running about her house trying to get help, and she's on the phone. Her house is beautiful. You know, it's obviously a rich person's house. That's why I think maybe she's married to the doctor, Doctor Mathis, possibly. So let's cut to the comments again, guys. See if anyone's got anything interesting to say. My Chunky Geordie says, I wouldn't know what 5'10" to 6'3" difference is, as I'm a little 5'3", but I ain't a man. Jordan was my chunky Jack Russell. Oh, that's nice. A little tiny Jack Russell. 5'3" is quite small for a man if you were a man. Like I said, the average man is 5'9", I think, 5'9/5'10". Let's say 5'9.5". I'm 5'8.5", so I'm just smaller than the average man, unfortunately. So I wouldn't be able to pull off any Michael Myers, regardless whether he's 6'3" or 5'10". Hextron Gaming says H2O Mask is probably the worst in the franchise. What do you all think? I think you're wrong. I think it's one of the best in the franchise, and I'm not joking. And I don't mean the CGI mask or the Halloween 6 mask that they used at the start of the movie or the KNB mask. I'm talking about the Stan Winston mask. That mask was beautiful. Stunning. David Irwin brings up a really good point, saying that girl is gorgeous. That girl is absolutely stunning. Yeah, it's a shame that she dies. I'm guessing she's only in that one scene. Maybe she's in more, but yes, she's absolutely beautiful. We need more of that woman in the film. She reminds me of Cara Strode from Halloween 6 with the red hair. Susanna says Michael is going after some more wealthy people these days. Well, absolutely. He can't live off dogs all his life. He needs to get some money, some Benjamins. JT asked, is this the parents who accused Corey of killing their kid? No, it's not, because in the TV spot we see parents behind Corey as he's telling a little boy, we're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to have a good time tonight. That doesn't, well, it's definitely not those people, because the dad's got dark hair and the person in the pool's got grey hair, possibly Dr. Mathis, and the woman's got red hair in that trailer, and the woman in that TV spot didn't have red hair. So it's definitely not the parents. Don't know who they are, to be honest, but definitely not the little kids' parents. David Irwin says, Dr. Mathis must be like Chalice for the younger women. Yeah, if that is his wife, then yeah, he might be a version of Dr. Chalice going after the young ladies. So let's move on to the next screenshot after this one. Not that one. This one. This is just Michael looking at the woman after he has killed her. He's just admiring his handiwork, just the exact same, almost the exact same camera angle as the original movie when he killed Bob, looking at his work of art. And I always took the line from Man on Fire by Christopher Walken. He says, Creasy's art is death, and he's about to paint his masterpiece. And that's the same with this one. It's the same with Michael Myers. Michael's art is death, and he's about to paint his masterpiece. I think if Dr. Loomis was still around, that's the line he would say, because it's an epic line. Next one, we've got a Halloween party, but it's outside. I don't recognize anyone or anything in particular. The only reason I showed this one is because let's see the little clown mask guy at the front. It's not the same mask as the mask in Halloween 1 at the beginning, but it's the same color scheme and it's kind of clown-like. So I thought I'd include that because it looks like it might be a nod to Michael's mask that he originally wore when he killed his sister back in 1963. Other than that, that was it. Next one, you've got, I mentioned that before with Laurie lighting the candle on the pumpkin. That again is a nod to the original from 1978. Next one, I like this. You've got Laurie in her house being stalked by either Michael or someone else looking in at Laurie. What she's looking at, I don't know, but she can hear something outside. Sort of like the rustlings that we got with Annie in 1978 when she's talking on the phone and Michael's standing outside breathing. I think we're going to get stuff like that in this movie. Not saying it's going to be definitely Michael in this scene, but more of that is what I want. And I did say that in numerous videos. I want more stalking. I want to see Michael's point of view, looking in at people, looking in at his victims, whether it be his next victim or not. I just want to see more of that. And that's what looks like we're getting in this movie. So I'm really glad they've included that, at least in the trailers. So it gives us a hint of getting stuff like that. This is just an image of Karen. We see a little back clip of Karen dying at the hands of Michael Myers. Apparently, this image of Karen that Laurie's got in her house is an actual deleted scene that we never ever saw. She was teaching in class in a deleted scene that was never used, and they just used it for an image for Laurie to use. Really nice. This one, again, it's similar to the shot we saw of Laurie Strode in the background. This one looks like we're going to get more of this with Michael coming in from different angles, and not just kind of jumping out at you like we saw him grabbing Corey's throat. We're going to see him in the distance coming towards the camera. I want to see that. That's what I want to see more of. We saw it in the original with him coming down the stairs after Laurie Strode when she falls down the stairs and he's walking down fast, not walking slow like Dick Warlock, walking fast. Like Nick Castle's Michael Myers and like the H2O Michael Myers. So just seeing him in the distance, then coming towards. Same in the original when Laurie's banging on the door and trying to get Tommy to open the door and Michael's coming from the distance. I want to see more of that. Next one. This one, I'll keep this one for later as well because this is Laurie. You see a little bit of this in the teaser trailer where Laurie's fixing her jacket on the chair. But look at the jacket she's wearing. Does that look familiar? We'll talk about it soon, but I'll keep that one for later. This is Laurie opening the door to someone. It's obviously they've made it look as if it's supposed to be Michael Myers, but it's obviously not Michael because Laurie is wearing a black bathrobe, I think it is. So it's just probably either trick-or-treaters or Allison, maybe even Corey. I don't know, but it's definitely not the scene that you think it is. This one included because I didn't know if she was going to fire the gun or not, because she doesn't fire it in the teaser trailer, but you can see the gun goes off in this shot. Of screenshot the actual moment the gun goes off. So she's shooting someone. So whoever's opened that door is dead, or at least they're going to get wounded if they get shot here. It's not Michael Myers, because we know that this person has all their fingers as well. So she's not shooting at Michael Myers. So there's a lot of questions. Again, I know that we're speculating certain things, guys, but I don't think all is what it seems to be. This is you actually see it in the trailer, to be honest, where it's a tribute to the original with Michael Myers standing up in the background. Does the exact same thing in the original. But we've seen that time and time again, to be honest. Here's a cool shot. Now, this is the one I'm talking about. Remember the man who looks like Louis Guzman from the new Addams Family and the Adam Sandler movies? Him is sitting in some sort of booth. That looks like him there, shining a light on Michael Myers. Now, you can't see it in the screenshot, but if you watch the trailer and pause it and go frame for frame, it looks like that same guy. It looks like the man with a kind of bit of a moustache. So I think that might be the guy who's walking around with the flashlight down in the sewers. Might be him. Maybe he's like an entrance guy, where maybe he's a parking ticket man. I don't know, but it looks like him. That's who it looks like. He's the one that saw Michael Myers, and you see Michael Myers coming out there. I don't know if that's Michael though, coming out of the darkness. I know that he's obviously wearing the coveralls and the mask, but that could be Corey coming out. In this shot, you can see his eyes. I don't know how clear that is though, for us to know if it's Michael's eyes or Corey's eyes or someone else's eyes. But questions need to get asked on that bit. That's all I can say. What do you guys think? Again, I'll stop showing the screenshots for now, and we can get into the chats again. I'm way behind in the chat, obviously. Not that much to go, guys. We're about two-thirds way through it, so we're getting there. We're getting there. But I'll go to the chat so that we can catch up again. This is a good point. Hey, Mikey, he likes it. Says Bob should have been slumped over like that instead of prone, like in the original Halloween. So that's the woman with the red hair. She's slumped over as she's dead. And yes, that's the way the body would be if there were competent filmmakers back then. Again, as genius as John Carpenter is, he was still an amateur at the time. Like I said, the scene where Laurie's looking out a window and sees Michael in the lawn, in between the sheets, and then he disappears and right in front of her eyes. They didn't shoot that with that intention. It was just a mistake, an accident. It's just bad filmmaking. And it's the same with that scene with Bob being stabbed and upright like that. It's never going to happen, but it's all they knew back then. And that's it. But they've learned over the years, and with a body being stabbed like that, that's probably how it would look, to be honest, all slumped over. But for effect, it was good the way it was in the original film. Susanna Mayer says that's the pillow lady. It's not the pillow lady. No, the pillow lady is an older lady. Unless you're talking about that in the other screenshot that I showed. But the person that's slumped over on the wall is definitely not the pillow lady. She's old enough to be that girl's mother. David Urban agrees with Susanna, but it's definitely not the pillow lady. Code Numbs the Pain. Barry, do you think Michael's face will be full revealed in Halloween Ends, or perhaps even him talking? Thanks. I did a video on that, and I hope that it doesn't happen, but part of this trailer makes me think it might happen, but we'll get to that. Adam James asked, Barry, are you watching it in theatres or on Peacock? Both. I'll see it for the first time in the theatres to get that cinema experience, But when I go home, I'll be watching it on Peacock a couple of times so that I can analyze it more and give a full review. I'm going to do a non-spoiler review, and then I'll watch it a couple more times, and then I will do a full spoiler-filled review. So I'll be doing both, but first of all, cinema. Pittsburgh Nelly says it's all about the Benjamins. It sure is. 2002 movie with Mike Epps and Ice Cube. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Funny film. Mark Bennett says quality reference. I wish I knew what you're talking about there, but I agree. Oh, I've had to put someone on timeout. Tut, tut, tut. Oh, Frank's in the house. Frank Riker. These poor pumpkins are the real victims. Yeah. But although pumpkins don't last that long, do they, Frank? So maybe they need to get a little bit of loving before they just rot away. Because they're rotten. David Owen says, pumpkins died tonight. I don't think we're going to get any of that in this film. Do you think so, guys? Something dies tonight? Surely not. They've learned a lesson, I think. The first movie, the big issue was Sartain, and they learned a lesson from that. And then in Halloween Kills, the big issue is Evil Dies Tonight. So I'm hopefully they're going to learn from that. Surely they will. Okay, so let's get on to the next batch. That's the one we're keeping with Laurie with that jacket on. Oh yeah, this was the guy that I thought the Louis Guzman lookalike. That's another shot of him in the tunnels, the sewers. So that's why I think it might not be Hawkins that's in there. I think it might be that dude. I don't know why he's here. He's a pointless character anyway. I always thought this was a scene from Halloween Kills when he turns up at the burning house with all the firefighters, but clearly not. That's all I've got to say about him. I don't know if this is the end of the film or not, but Laurie's obviously all bloodied up, cuts all over her face, and God knows whose blood that is on her chest. But she's in a car speaking to someone. I think it might be Allison, if that's the same scene. It looks like the same kind of colour in the background, kind of that light green colour you can see in both of them. So it looks like she's maybe speaking to Allison. Maybe she said to Allison, I told you that Corey was a bad guy or a bad boy. And she's like, okay, Grandma. So that's what I think that is. Who knows? Let's just delete those two. There's a blowtorch here. Now, at first I didn't know who that was with the blowtorch or why they were there, but you can see below the blowtorch, you've got that fence there. Now, that little girl is, where is she? There. The girl is caught in the fence, screaming, and looks like she's got the yellow jacket on, so it's definitely her there. And it's probably somebody's crashed the car into the fence, and she's been all tangled up. Sorry, right there. So it looks like the person is trying to get her out. So see the wheel. There's a wheel there as well at the bottom. So they're at the scene. I don't know if it's a firefighter. It could be Laurie Strode trying to get the little girl out. I don't know. But I think somebody's already there. Now, I'm going to go back to this image here of Laurie Strode with the yellow jacket. Is that the same yellow jacket? I can't quite make it out because she's got kind of dark blue, black on the sleeves there. And because of the way that's lit with Laurie, it's hard to see the front of the jacket. It's probably not. Maybe it's just a trend where everyone wears yellow jackets. If that's Laurie's jacket, then at some point Laurie gives the jacket to this girl. She's a victim and she's cold, and she's like, "Thanks for your jacket, Laurie." And then she sees a car coming, and gets squashed. And Laurie's like, "Oh Christ, okay, let me help you." And she uses a blowtorch to get the metal off her or something. I don't know, but they could all be linked. Who knows? I'm just spitballing here. So we can just delete those ones and move on to the next one. In fact, before we move on, guys, what do you think of that? Do you think that's the same jacket? Is Laurie coming to the rescue? Yes, we do see other TV spots with that same scene with a car there. The other boy that looks suspicious standing next or lying down with someone dressed as Michael Myers next to him. So that's going to be a big scene. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but it will be interesting anyway. Hamza Butt says, Barry, is the cinema version and Peacock version going to have different endings? As far as I'm aware, no. I think with something as big as that, they would let us know so that we can enjoy both of them. I know that Laurie said you want to go and watch it again, or sorry, Jamie Lee Curtis says in a video, you're going to watch it again and again. I think that's just her being over excited. But I don't think we're going to get two different endings. I think if we do get a different ending, it'll be an alternate ending we get when the Blu-ray 4K eventually gets released, like the Halloween Kills. But I don't think we're going to get two different endings in short space of time, especially at the same time. Extra on Gaming says Michael looks like he's torturing the pillow lady. She has a bunch of cuts on her body, and Michael is just sitting there, staring at her while she's screaming in agony. I've not seen that, to be honest. I've seen the shot of him like trying to kill her as she's got cuts on her, but I've not seen him sitting down while she's. No, I've not seen that bit, mate. Unless that's in one of the TV spots. I haven't watched all the TV spots, to be honest. Infinity Westbrook has asked, why haven't you reacted to any of my comments? I haven't seen your comments, Infinity. Sorry, there's quite a lot of comments coming through. So apologies if there's something important that you need to say. Brock Lesnar, again, I don't know if Brock is commenting on the last guy that we've all pulled up, but we'll assume that you're not, Brock. Brock says, Mako Mayers. Remember we said this earlier on, guys, that people who don't understand accents, they think their accent is the only accent out there. So if they don't hear accents very often, they will try and listen to other people's accents in their own. So with me saying, for example, Michael Myers, this person's trying to process my accent in their eyes or in their ears, and all they can hear is Mako Myers. And when I say Mako Myers, he'll hear that and then he'll hear something else because he's trying to process that in his brain and his accent. So it's a shame. I feel sorry for people who don't understand accents. I mean, I can understand everyone that speaks English, obviously. Every accent I can understand because I hear it in their accent and I just process it in my own way. But yeah, that's a shame. Just going through some of the comments, guys, before I go on to the next one. Yep, Philip Loomis says absolutely useless as Barker. Yep, Sheriff Barker is absolutely useless. Yeah, there's another person I have to block. Sorry. My Chunky Jordy says, not Laurie's jacket. It probably isn't. I'm just surmising they're similar colour. And Retro says, Laurie's got a darker yellow bronze cardigan. You can see her wearing it in the trailer. No, I'm not talking about the cardigan. I'm actually talking about the jacket she's wearing. She's got a hood on the jacket that she's wearing. I've already deleted it from it. But yeah, she's wearing a hood in the screenshot that I showed. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I think I'm kind of caught up just now. So let's go back to the screenshots. So this is another screenshot. Again, I don't know why they're not showing it in order the way I uploaded it. Oh, let me just hide the comment again, guys. Ooh. There we go. Right, so this is a guy getting killed in the radio station, or the radio tower. I don't know. He's obviously down on the ground floor because Michael walked past him. Is this Michael Myers that's killing him? Possibly. It's very unclear, but he definitely dies. You can see there he's just about to be fully dead. I do like his little booth that he's in. Well, a big booth because it's huge. But yeah, he's definitely a goner. This is Michael's reflection when Alison sees him. I don't know why I included that, guys. Let's just go past that one, to be honest, because we saw that in the TV spots. Who's that again? I don't know what I'm screenshotting here, guys, but who's that I'm looking at? Guys, let me know who that is. I'll leave that screenshot up. Who do we think this is? While you're looking at that, guys, Darren's just confirming to y'all, for those of you who are just here as well, be careful with your spoilers. Again, we're only discussing what we've officially saw from Universal. So anyone that says this isn't what anyone said, but if anyone says John Smith is the killer, I read the script. Whether you're lying or not, you have to be blocked because I can't take a risk. So don't even joke about it, guys, because the joke turns into a ban, unfortunately. I'm not trying to be like Hitler. I'm just trying to avoid spoilers, unofficial spoilers, that is. So, again, apologies. It's okay to joke now and again at certain things, but I can't take the risk just in case someone says something and I think they might be joking when they're actually not joking, unfortunately. So, yeah, just be careful. Very careful. Yeah. Retro says the kid with the varsity jacket. That's who I thought it was. Why did I take that screenshot and just completely forget why I done it? But yeah, I think that's the little guy who I think is also a bit of a suspect. Don't know what he's doing there anyway. Is he dead? Who knows? So the next one, here's a little boy. He's probably the first victim in Halloween Ends. Have a good look. And I know that we got him in in a TV spot. Not only did we see him in the TV spot, he spoke as well, talking about Michael Myers or the Boogeyman. But yeah, unfortunately, this little guy, when we say he dies, maybe he goes missing and we think he's dead and then he turns up alive, who knows? But if he is truly dead and Corey's getting the blame of it, then this boy is the first person to die in Halloween Ends. Such a shame. Right, so I'm going to go on to a very important one. You ready? This one. Some people have already jumped the gun and spoke about it, but let's talk about it. So yes, this is quite clearly not Michael Myers. This is the imposter, the copycat. Not sure why they included that in the trailer, but they have. So you can see he's got all his fingers, so it's not Michael Myers. it does look smaller. And I don't mean Michael Myers is supposed to be 6'3" and this boy's 5'9". I mean, he's slimmer than Michael Myers. He's not a full body person. So that might be why it's more baggy than your usual Michael Myers outfit. But yes, whoever that is taking a mask. I don't know if it's Michael's actual mask or a second mask that we're all questioning. But yeah, it's not Michael Myers. It's not a spoiler either because it's official. It's an official image that we need to discuss. But yeah, they're kind of confirming, like we didn't already know, but they're confirming that there is some sort of copycat. Doesn't mean that the copycat's going to be a killer, but we just know that someone there in the film is trying to impersonate Michael Myers. And this image here just confirms that even more. What do you think, guys? Did you see that initially? I know most people did because that is quite a talking point in that final trailer. But yeah, let me know what you think of that one. Mark asks, are those Velcro shoes? Not as far as I'm aware. Wrong image. But no, I don't think they're Velcro shoes, Mark. And yeah, plus, why would Michael be walking around with his mask in his hand? Exactly, wouldn't somebody's taking it either from Michael or taking it from the tunnels? I'll call it the tunnels, the sewers, whatever you want to call it. Mikey says he's wearing wallabies. Is that a type of shoe or type of boot? John T said the imposter costume could come from a trick-or-treater, possibly. I don't know, because the mask is all beat up, unless the people are trying to dress up as Michael Myers, because it's Haddonfield. And if they did, he might not need to have got it from a trick-or-treater. Might have just got it himself, if you can buy it somewhere. So yeah. Next one. No reason I've included this one other than it's a really nice shot of the mask. And I do like the blue hue inside this image as well. And obviously this passage of play that we get in the trailer is really nicely lit. And again, I hope we get more of that in the movie, in the final cut of the movie. Now, here's an interesting one. You've got Laurie, who's quite confident here with the knife, and someone lying down. Does Laurie know that that's not Michael Myers lying on that table? There's something about it that makes me feel like she knows that that's not Michael Myers, and she knows there's a copycat out there, and she's maybe waiting for the copycat, expecting Michael to be dead or not coming back. And then she's lying in wait, waiting for the copycat and knowing that there's a copycat out there. I don't know. She just seems so confident in this scene that maybe the twist is, and don't quote me here, maybe the twist is she's expecting to be fighting a copycat. And when she pulls that mask off to see Michael Myers, that's going to be her twist. And thinking, oh my God, that's Michael. I thought you were the copycat. So maybe that is one of the twists. What is that? Can't even see my own screenshots, guys. Is that Michael? Oh yeah, so that's a shot of Michael in the kitchen lying down. And she's trying to take the mask off him. And when she's trying to take the mask off him, he's wriggling like it's not Michael Myers. But when she does reveal his face, it's only a split second you see of his face before it cuts, but it looks like Michael Myers. It looks like an older person's face. I don't think it's Corey unless he's put old man's makeup on, but I don't think that's Corey. And if it's not Michael Myers, then again, it could be a second copycat. Maybe it's Corey's dad or Dr. Mathis, who knows? But I don't think it's Corey. And if it's not Michael, then I have no idea who that's supposed to be, other than Michael Myers. Maybe that's when she opens, she pulls the mask off, expecting it to be someone else, and then it's revealed to be Michael. And if it's Michael, then she obviously gets a big fright because he's even scarier than the copycats, I would imagine. What do you guys think of that scene? Do you think that's Michael Myers in that scene? I know that Michael Myers is in that scene, but we also know there's a copycat somewhere. So do you think the copycat and Michael Myers are in that one specific scene? Because if you remember, you get the bloody knife with a body next to it, and then Michael picking up the mask from that body. So is that the copycat? Is it Corey? Is it someone else? There's so many questions, but it's good because we don't know for certain who it is and what is happening. Magacat is in the house. What up, Barry? 100. Yeah, good. You've missed most of the chat, but you can watch the video over again if you want when it's finished, Maga. I'm nearly finished. I'm not quite finished, but I'm nearly there. But apologies, you've missed quite a bit of it. But I hope you're doing well. Space Force and Girl Force JJ West fans have said, will this movie have a song to its OST? I don't think so. Other than Halloween H2O, which was a teen film at the time, like Scream, I don't think any of the Halloween movies have songs. I know you've got like Scream's got the Red Right Hand. And other franchises have got songs attached to them, but Halloween's never been one that has a song attached to it. So I don't think it will, but it's an interesting one if they do have a song associated with them. I know that Mr. Sandman is a song in the movies, but it's not a song out with the film for the soundtrack. It's just a song within the movies. So I don't think there is a song specifically for any Halloween film. Not something I've ever thought of before. Mikey says, yes, there's a song called Let It Burn by Boy Harsher. What Halloween movie is that in? Call of Wolfie says, Don't Fear the Reaper is a song that I always think of Halloween. Yeah, I think that's because of the Rob Zombie ones on it. Like, obviously, Rob Zombie has a lot of kind of 70s style music in his Halloween movies, but with the original Halloween storyline, the original timeline, I don't think they would need that kind of music in it because it's not a musical film. It's like Psycho. You wouldn't have songs associated with Psycho. Okay, so only got a couple of screenshots left, guys. This one is when Michael is getting, you can see at the right hand side, there's a knife going in. Well, I'm not saying get into Michael, but it's in this trailer. The knife's coming out of Michael's chest as he sits up. It could be roles reversed. Now, look at this one here. This is the knife inside Michael's chest as he's lying on the ground, lying on the table. Now, the way this trailer plays out is the knife's already in his chest, and then it comes out as he sits up. It looks, you can see it better when you watch the actual video, but he's lying down, and then he comes up with the knife coming out. That could be roles reversed. It could start off like this, with the knife about to go in him, and then he falls down with her stabbing him. I genuinely don't know how this plays out because it could be camera trickery, or it could just be how it plays out in the trailer where he's already stabbed in the chest, and then he sits up and she's pulled the knife out and she's thought, he's not dying here. But that's definitely Michael with all the wounds on him and obviously with the stabbing. But I don't know. What do you think, guys? Do you think that's how it plays? Do you think it's played in reverse in the trailer, where he gets stabbed and falls down, or do you think it's the other way around? I'm not 100% clear on that one. That's why I included it, because it shows you again in this trailer, and it's more prominent in this one, but it's still, it could be a little bit of camera trickery, to be honest. Ribby says, don't feel the Reaper plays in the original. What I'm saying is, not songs that play in the films, because songs play in any movie, but I'm talking about a song for a film, like Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. That's a song on the soundtrack of the movie. Yeah, everyone's saying the same thing. Yeah, I don't mean that, guys. I mean a song for the movie. So the Don't Fear the Reaper feature on the Halloween soundtrack from 1978? Probably not. I don't think so. So that's what I mean. Yeah, Retro says one of the TV spots shows Michael getting up off the table and pushing Laurie back into the fridge while she's still holding the knife. But it still doesn't confirm whether the knife goes in first or not. So there's obviously a bit of a commotion there. But that could also be in reverse. I can't remember. But yeah, it could be camera trickery. You never know. Guys, I'm not going to block everyone for doing this, but you're talking about title tracks on Halloween Ends. Please don't mention any names of the tracks on Halloween Ends, because some people don't want to know the names of the title tracks, especially me. So please don't talk about the Halloween Ends title tracks on Halloween Ends, because it spoils the movie. It spoiled it for Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. So I'd imagine it'd do the same for Halloween Ends. It might not be a spoiler to some of you guys from what you're reading, but for some people, it is a spoiler because of what they already know. So please don't mention the names of the tracks, guys, because it will spoil it. Again, guys, there's some people still doing it, so I'm going to have to block some people. Apologies, but please don't do it. Susanna Mayer said it got officially released. If you're talking about the soundtrack, you're right. But like I said before, I don't think the music company realize that the title tracks are spoilers. So I'm giving that as an exception. So please, guys, don't mention the track titles, because it does spoil it. Luckily, I've managed to avoid them. So, and some people don't want to know it. That's all the screenshots that I've got for you guys. Now, there will be things that I've missed, as usual, because I haven't watched it on my TV. I've only watched it on the laptop, and I've not edited any images that I've looked at, so I've not brightened anything up. So I'm going to do that over the next day or so and watch the trailer on the TV, on the big screen, just to see if there's anything that I've possibly missed. And if I have, then I will do a things you missed or things we missed. I always love it when I do things we missed videos, and the first thing someone will always say is, no, not things we missed, it's things you missed. And I'm like, yeah, of course, but I'm obviously going to say things we missed because I am a channel, and I like to pretend I'm more than one person. So I'll always say we instead of I, because if I say things I missed, then nobody will care. It's just me. So if I say we, people are like, oh, things we missed. It must be things that we all missed then. So yeah, that's why I say things we missed. And that's it. If you get any questions, guys, I'm still going to be here for the next 10 minutes or so. I'll start to wind up a bit. just thought I'd celebrate this monumental trailer. And talking about the trailer, obviously, and I did mention this in my trailer reaction. Overall, it's a fantastic trailer. I did genuinely like the Hellraiser trailer better than the teaser trailer for Halloween, and the way they marketed Hellraiser has been a lot better. However, after seeing the final trailer for Halloween Ends, whoever edited the trailer was on point. The music for the trailer was amazing. The sound for the trailer was just top notch. And the choice of scenes that they used was decent because it was a amalgamation. Is that what you say it? An amalgamation of all the TV spots that we've had so far, and they've cut it into one trailer. And I just think it's perfect. So for a final trailer, and that's it, I'm hoping that's it. It's amazing, and it's got me really looking forward to the movie itself, even more so now than Hellraiser. Still looking forward to Hellraiser, but this movie does look good. And if the movie's anywhere near as good as that final trailer, then I think and hope we're in for a treat. Susanna said the music in the trailer was epic. Yeah, it was. It was so epic. I honestly can't believe how good that the trailer music was, because there's something about music and trailers these days that I really hate. But they got it so perfect in this one. Space Force has asked, will we finally see Ben Tramer? Hopefully not. I'm hoping that after this timeline finishes, we never get to see Ben Tramer. That's not to say we'll never see him in a new timeline. Maybe we'll get to see him in another timeline. But for this timeline, I'm hoping that we don't see him. Low Volt Dude has asked, is this channel your full-time job? Saying that it's past midnight there on a work night. It's not my full-time job. I actually work for the police. I am police forensics, believe it or not, which is quite random because I've got a horror channel. So I'm not working tomorrow. I've got a day off, so that's why I'm doing a late video tonight. But no, it's not my full-time job. I wish it was. You see a lot less violence on YouTube channel as you do in real life, but that's why nothing really phases me, to be honest, guys, because I might see bad things online. People might call me names on YouTube, or people might make fun of my accent, make them ears. But at the end of the day, the things I see in work are horrendous. Being forensics, obviously. So nothing phases me online when it comes to trolls and people talking about me. That's just duck off a water's back, water off a duck's back, I should say, because it is late. So yeah, this isn't my full-time job as much as I'd like it to be. It's not. But the job that I do, as horrendous and horrific as it can be, it's very rewarding when we catch the bad guys. It's always very rewarding and something that I love. So I do love my job and I love YouTube. So if you look at both of them, I love both my jobs because I do get paid for YouTube as well, obviously. So yeah, it's not my full-time job. Space Force, CSI Wolfman. People call me Dexter before because it's forensics. Joe W says, Barry, you need to quit your day job as we need 24/7 access to Halloween updates. Thanks. Love your accent. I mean, the thing is, Joe, I don't just do Halloween. Halloween's big right now because we've obviously had the 3 movies in a short space of time. So a lot of my content has been about Halloween because of it. But I don't just cover Halloween. I cover everything. Scream, Friday the 13th, Jeepers Creepers when that came out. So I cover everything. Luckily, Halloween's helped my channel. But after Halloween Ends is finished, that's it for a while. I'll still talk about Halloween. I'll still do Halloween updates if there's any rumors of new Halloween movies, etc. But Halloween updates aren't going to last forever. So that'll be coming to an end for a while at some point. But stay and watch the channel because I will be doing more updates on other things. Ash has asked, "What's your opinion on the Halloween from 2011?" There isn't a Halloween from 2011. What do you mean? The closest to a Halloween from 2011 would be Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 from 2009. Do you mean that? If you mean that, then it's one of the worst. The Blackest Eyes has asked, "Oof, what's the worst thing you've seen?" Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to say. Can't talk about it, unfortunately. Very confidential, and I would lose my job. All I can say is I've seen bad things, things that you would only imagine seeing in your dreams. Think of that, but in real life. But yeah, I can't discuss it, unfortunately. Thunderwave has asked, "Do you think Sheriff Barker will be one of Michael's victims?" No, I don't. I want him to be. There's no reason for him to be there. So he could die, and I think he could be one of his victims, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't. That's all I can say. My Chunky Jordy says, "I watch true crime." Good on you for being able to do that, Barry. Yeah, like I said, it's a hard job, and it's not one that you need praise for because I'm not saving the world or anything, but at least we're helping people. That's the main thing. Daniel W says, "If only there was a Halloween movie released every year. Think you could quit your day job then?" Probably not. No. I mean, I do get quite good money on YouTube, especially around Halloween time. It's been good for my channel over the past 3 or 4 years, but when it hits like April and May and stuff like that, it slows down. So even if there was a Halloween movie every year, you're going to get good months and bad months on YouTube. So I think a job is the way to go. Even the big YouTubers who have been able to quit their jobs, which is great. One day that might just disappear. You know, there's been a few months where I've been getting really good money, and I think I could quit my job for YouTube, but then the next month I get a quarter of that. It's just so random. So I can't put my career on the line like that because I've got a wife and kids and a mortgage and a car, etc. I just can't do it unless it was guaranteed. I just couldn't chance it. And like I said, I love my job as well, helping people in forensics. So, Caesar has asked, "Where did you get your shirt?" It's a Terror Threads, I think it is. What does that say? Yeah, Terror Threads. I got it from Mad About Horror. It's a UK site, but I think you can get it from other countries as well. But I bought mine from Mad About Horror. Yeah, Space Force said, "Don't forget we got Final Destination next year." That's if it still goes ahead. Hopefully it does. Maybe we'll see a return for Devon Sawa as well, which would be quite cool. Craig Fisher asked, "What do you think the actual title of Scream 6 will be?" I think it's just going to be what it is. It's the exclamation mark, Scream with exclamation marks, with a little hidden 6 in it. I don't know if you noticed it, but it's got a 6 in it and also a 2. So it's almost like it's trying to tell you it's Scream 2 for them, but it's also Scream 6 for everyone. So I don't think it will have a specific title. I think it will just be Scream with the 2 exclamation marks. And if they bring out another one, it will just be Scream with 3 exclamation marks, just so that they can kind of cover their tracks, to be honest. Scott asked, "Is it digital device forensics, Barry, or silent witness type?" I don't know what either of those are, Scott. So neither. Is that American stuff? I don't know. But no, it's none of those two. It's actual forensics and the police. What's happening with my camera? So you're from Scotland, Scott, aren't you? 2 seconds. Fix this light. Maybe it's that. I don't know why my camera is blurred over. It'll come back. But yes, I work for Police Scotland. It'll come back, guys. Sorry. There we go. Maga Cat, real life Dexter in the house. I'm less Dexter and I'm more Vince Masuka. If any of you watched Dexter, you'll know who Vince is. Tom S asked, as someone in forensics, were you a big fan of Dexter? Absolutely. I've still not seen the newest season of Dexter, but I watched the first original series when it was out, and I loved it. Very disappointed in the finale, which most of us were. But yeah, I loved Dexter. But I watched Dexter before I joined the police, so I think I might go back to it now that I'm part of that whole world. Because what you're watching in Dexter is very similar to what we do. And when I first watched it, I thought it was so far fetched that it could never happen. Things like that you wouldn't see things like that and do things like what they do. But actually doing it in real life now, I'm like, wow, it's just like Dexter. So I think I might go back and watch Dexter again because it'd be quite good to see it from that point of view now that I've seen it from the inside. Jordy's asked, how do you switch off from work? At first I couldn't. When you first do it, when you first see a specific thing, which I can't say, but when you first see a specific thing for the first time, you can't switch off. You wouldn't be able to switch off so fast if you weren't human. But you learn over time. You get you get thick skin and you see things over and over again to the point where it just becomes numb now. And I can actually just sit and eat my lunch as I'm doing my work now. That's how it gets. It has to get like that. Otherwise, if you obviously I don't want to give too much away, but if you get too invested in certain cases, then it'll take over you. So you need to separate it. Otherwise, you can't do the job. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to call it a night now, guys. It's almost 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Maga Cat has asked, Barry, do you know Count Dankula? I've heard of him. I think is he Scottish? I can't remember. I know the Critical Drinker. He's going to be coming onto the channel next month. Hopefully we're going to discuss John Carpenter and Halloween, because the Critical Drinker doesn't really do much horror. So it'll be good to discuss John Carpenter, because he loves Big Trouble in Little China like myself, and we're both Scottish as well. So he'll be coming on the channel and we'll be having a little chat, but there'll be more on that later on, because he's a big deal now. So it'd be good to get him on. Oh, David James, you've just came on at the last minute, David. Hello, anyway. But if you want to watch the live chat that we've had, you can certainly watch it back again. But I'm sorry we've missed you, David, because you just came to almost the very end of this live chat. But it's nice to see you. Nice to say hello to you. So Scott, it's none of those two things specifically. If it was anything, it'd be more along the silent witness part, but we don't do anything specific like that. So I better wrap it up here, guys. Yeah. I think the Critical Drinker gets a lot of hate because he is so honest, but he's very articulate. He's very smart. He knows what he's talking about, and yeah, he says it like it is. most of the time. We won't be doing all that kind of stuff on my channel, though. We'll just be talking about Halloween and John Carpenter and stuff. So it won't be as controversial. But he's a really smart guy, and I'll be proud to bring him on the channel. Quickly before I go, Caesar, what do you think of Evan Peters on Dahmer? I think he's amazing on it. I've not seen it all yet. I've only watched 5 episodes so far, so I've still got half of it to go. So I'm looking forward to watching the second half. But so far, he's absolutely amazing. And I think that's all I've got time for, guys. As always, anyone who's late to the live chat, you can always look back on it once it's done. If you want to leave any comments on the video itself, then leave them all down below, and I'll get to them as best as I can. And again, this breakdown, I know it's almost 2 hours long, but it was necessary to get a lot of it out there just to see what you guys think. So it was good to kind of interact with people as I was breaking it down. But like, there's things that we've probably missed. We, not just I, things that we've all missed that I'll go back and watch again and again, and we'll see if there's anything we've missed, and I'll do another video. And I also noticed throughout my live chat, I had an average of 140 people watching constantly for 2 hours. I think that's a new record for me, sitting myself. Usually when I've got someone on with me, I get more people watching. So just doing it myself for 2 hours, it's quite hard to do. But again, thanks guys for sticking with me. There's people still commenting just now that have been here from the beginning of the 2 hours. So I salute you guys for being so patient with me, listening to me saying Mako Mayors for 2 hours. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.